Sometimes you just look at the screenshots for a game and you know it's going to be something you'll enjoy very much. I did not have that feeling with Destination Ares. Actually, I was extremely hesitant to play at all, yet I feel inclined to give most games a shot, and I'm glad I did. Destination Ares is a simulation about flying through space to get to a planet so that the crew can start a new life. You don't take charge of the ship by playing the commander. Oh no. You're the ever-watching AI that must direct the crew to problems on the ship. And what a wonderful twist on playing God. Of course, 2001: A Space Odyssey comes to mind. The AI handles all events, internal and external. Sometimes you'll get a communication or something emotional happens on the ship. You need to select how to handle it and sometimes complete a minigame. The outcome of the event could allow you to continue your trip, or if you fail, probably something's going to break. In a way, it's like FTL because you need to manage the systems of the ship by turning them off and on. Also, directing the crew to repair the components when they break with either a warning or an emergency. If you tell the crew it's an emergency repair, they'll stop at nothing to fix it. They'll even put their own lives at risk. The communication system is the most important because if that breaks, you can't talk to the crew. It's funny when it's completely broken and they're ignoring fixing it. It's frustrating too. I'm pretty sure the crew is too stupid to fix it themselves, which is how I learned that if you hover over an item, you can see if it's already starting to degrade. It's best to keep up the repairs on the most important components of your ship. It can be a little annoying when the oxygen starts to get low and the system has failed, but no one will make an effort to fix it. They're fixing the engine instead. You're going to die! Please fix the life support, you idiots! Your body, the metal surrounding the crew, is extremely important. You're given 5 different configurations, with only one being unlocked from the start. I don't appreciate being barred from playing a higher difficulty if I want to. I wasn't able to get very far with the beginner ships. I don't know if it's possible to beat the game with them. None of those ships matter though because the game starts when you can build your own ship. You have to unlock it by spending points in a tree, but the tiers after that unlock more parts. Your created ship still has constraints, so you can't stick everything you want on there, but it's very freeform. Nothing to stop you from creating a ship that doesn't have a toilet, but don't do that. Creating your own ship is the best way to play though. I'm not sure why they even included the default ships. It's a much more personal experience if your crew and your ship are in trouble. Hiding the coolest part of the game from the start almost made me put it down immediately. Do the developers not realize it's the best part, or was this a terrible attempt at a tutorial? Forcing the player to fly a beginner ship is not as much fun. As far as I'm concerned, this is the only way to play. If you decide to pick up Destination Ares, make sure to purchase shipbuilding as soon as possible. Another mechanic that bugs the hell out of me is the minigame for deciding events. One of the events that happens frequently is that someone on the ship is hoarding food. You can select from several responses to this, and then based on that, it will set the difficulty of the minigame. But the minigame is so confusing. You're instructed to think Minesweeper. Yellow dots on a square show you how many red squares it's touching. Don't touch the red squares. Then they give you a radar ping to see how many yellow dots are around you. It's just not intuitive, especially when you're in a time limit situation. Minesweeper works because you have a timer going up and precise control. In this game, it's the exact opposite. The controls are too loose, and with a little jiggle, you'll hit a red block. To further aggravate, there are blank blocks that, without hitting them, seem like red blocks. Those were free in Minesweeper. The whole minigame is annoying, and I go back and forth if the game is actually worth playing because of this minigame. I also wish the power management was a lot clearer. Maybe I'm too used to FTL where I have very obvious controls over the power level, but Destination Ares is obtuse. There's nothing clear about how much power each system takes or how much extra power I have. For the beginner ship, you need to juggle power a lot, but when I built my own ship, I had plenty of solar panels. It would be a lot easier to create a ship if I knew how much power each system used and how much power it was going to generate from the solar cells. The game is difficult enough, I don't know why this isn't in the user interface. One thing to note is that I am getting farther in the game each time I play. I'm not sure if that's because of the upgrades I'm getting or from skill. The game is slower, so sometimes it feels more like a puzzle that needs to be solved. How many beds, batteries, and engines are optimal to make it all the way? My best run is 49% of the way. I think with enough tweaks to my custom ship, I could reach my destination. I'm not going to try and paint a fantastic picture of an amazing game you must play. It has problems. What I did find was a game that had a unique style with more depth than expected. I know it's not the highest praise, but I think it could be worth your time. You should be looking for a silly god game that's not stressful. Well, unless the communication system breaks and then they won't fucking fix it. After about a year of early access, I would expect some of this to be fixed, but with 8 reviews, it looks like Destination Ares was a little passed over. Hurts a little because I think with tweaks to the minigame and some of the ship mechanics, it could have been a lot better. I wonder if the developer is willing to work on this if more people start picking it up. It has something though, and that's a lot more than I can say for a lot of other games. This one kind of surprised me, so let me know if you pick it up. I did really find it somewhat interesting, the systems they used and things like that, but it is rough around the edges. And I know some people, for some that's actually totally fine, which is why I'm definitely showing it off here. Yeah, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. Bye.